Hemisphere Park is open every day from 7 a.m. to midnight. For a list of upcoming events, you can check out their Facebook page. Hundreds of people gathered downtown Monday to commemorate a march that sparked a movement. It's been 50 years since farm workers in the Rio Grande Valley began a more than 300-mile march to Austin to demand better pay. Crowds marched from San Fernando Cathedral to Milan Park Monday morning to honor those workers. Back in 1966, hundreds of men and women went on strike, demanding a wage of $1.25 an hour and better working conditions, including clean drinking water. At the time, farm workers in the valley were being paid 40 cents an hour to pick melons. They decided to take a cue from Cesar Chavez, who was then leading a grape strike in California. A march began in June 1966 in Starr County. Despite opposition from then Governor Connolly, marchers continued and reached the Capitol on Labor Day. Arnett Garcia shows us why their story is still inspiring others today.
With a prayer and a purpose, hundreds marched through downtown San Antonio, paying tribute to those who gave up their livelihoods for justice. For Kelly Rosa Gabonok, these steps are personal.
My father was a migrant farm worker. He's Filipino, and he picked grapes actually with Cesar Chavez in California.
In 1966, Cesar Chavez inspired farm workers in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas to go on strike, demanding $1.25 an hour and better working conditions. At the time, farm workers were only paid 40 cents an hour for hard labor.
I can't even imagine what it must have been like to work all day, 12 hours, breaking your back in the sun, and then getting paid like $8.
The strike sparked a movement. Texas farm workers began to march from Starr County straight to the state capitol, more than 300 miles and longer than 2 months of traveling.
Hundreds and hundreds of people that were brave enough to, move through cities, through streets, through spaces where they weren't wanted.
50 years later, people here continue fighting for fair wages.
There are still people in the fields. Those are the people who pick our food. Those are the people who clean the buildings. They build the buildings that we live in. Those are the people who make these clothes that we wear.
Gabonok is now a grad student, her education paid for by the hands of her father. She marches for more opportunities.
I think it's amazing that 50 years later I can call my dad and say, "Estoy en la huelga." No, I'm still marching for you.
The fearlessness of her father, still alive today. Arnett Garcia, Time Warner Cable News.
The strike gained national attention. In 1970, Texas passed a minimum wage law of $1.40 an hour.